The first time he did this, he got $11 million in listings in 90 days. And he didn't have to call people and say, hey, are you thinking about selling? Do you want to meet and talk about your property? He would just say, here you go, here's the data, and then they'd call him.
You are listening to the 10-4 at R4 podcast, recorded live at RE/MAX R4 2020 from the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. In this episode, we discuss
Screen recording
with
Alicia
of
BombBomb
from
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Now, here are your hosts, Jesse Peters and Michael Thorne.
Welcome to the 10-4 at R4 podcast. I am Michael Thorne of RE/MAX Lifestyles Realty in Langley, BC, and my co-host is
Mr. Jesse Peters from RE/MAX Executives from Winnipeg, Canada. Like a nice flight away from you, Michael.
yes.
Not nice that I have to fly away from you, but like
Yeah, we're close. We're close-ish.
ish.
Well, you know what? We only have 10 minutes on the 10-4 podcast, so Alicia, we want to jump right into screen recordings, but I'd be remiss not to point out that during the recording of this podcast, it's your birthday.
Woo woo.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Alicia.
This is my
It's your
5th year
birthday.
celebrating my birthday at R4.
We're gonna
Well, that's pretty amazing.
It's amazing.
Pretty special. All right, so BombBomb. I think it's only fair. I think immediately, quickly, a disclosure from Jesse Peters and myself to all the listeners. I am a unabashed BombBomb fan. I think it is the best thing we've done to improve the relationship we have with our clients, customer experience that we've ever had in our real estate career. I think anyone who doesn't use BombBomb is out of their mind, and I've never been paid a penny from BombBomb, nor has Jesse, for saying those sorts of things, because it's important, because we are such raving fans of it that I don't want people to misconstrue my absolute love for the product and the company because
And the
it's
people.
financial, financial benefits. So
Well, we
it's fair.
appreciate you.
Well, you have no idea the impact you've had on our business and our families' lives. My ability to create amazing customer experience in between innings of a Little League baseball game means I can spend time with my family and still have a really amazing business. One of the things about BombBomb that I think is most difficult for people to get their heads around is all the amazing things that it can do.
Yeah.
It can send one-to-one videos. It can send your mass sends. It can be a form
Landing
for
pages,
landing pages. It could be a
forms.
sign-up. It could be a lot of
Automation.
things.
Yep.
Yes. Scheduling emails. It doesn't have to have a video. And one of the things, snippets, oh my goodness, there's so much to, there is so much to the product. And I think one of the things that when we're out doing our video boot camps, people kind of go, is when we show them the screen recorder.
Yep.
And it's there in your Gmail plugin. Is it in your Outlook plugin?
Yeah, it's anywhere that you would normally, that you can record a video that's not on mobile, you can record your screen anywhere.
When people hear screen recorder, they go, great, I can capture my screen. But I think once people see how you can use it and how it really changes your ability to communicate something to somebody else, it's a game changer. So through the history of the screen recorder in the real estate space, how have you seen agents leverage this tool?
Yeah, there's so many great things that I see agents doing with it. And what I love about our screen recorder that's different than a lot of other products that record your screen is that we keep your video in it. So you're not having to do audio separately and then do any editing. You can just pull it up and you've got your video there to talk to what you see. So think about how many times in the transaction process that you are trying to explain digital information, right? Whether it's a contract, whether it's a buyer website that you set people up on, or maybe you had buyers out looking at properties and the lot layout was funky and you need to go back to the office and pull up the actual county assessor's site and show. You can do all of that with a screen recorder. So my favorite thing that I see agents doing with a screen recorder, our friend Jimmy Burgess told us about this. So what he does is he does unsolicited CMAs for his sphere. So these are people he already has a relationship with, and he will pull up their property address, pull up all of the comps, do a market analysis, and then do a screen record video of it because he's showing them the data. Right, a lot of agents get stuck on doing these mass market updates where they send one market update to everyone in their entire database, and as a consumer, if I can't directly see how this benefits me, I'm not going to be engaged with it. So he uses the screen recorder to show them their property and the market data around what their neighbors have been selling for, and then just sends it off because he doesn't need to schedule a call with them. So the first time he did this, he told me he decided he was going to do one a day for 90 days. And so every morning he would just do it. And he was working neighborhood by neighborhood, so he already has the comps pulled. He'd use Google Earth to zoom in on their property. Because if I open up an email from my real estate agent and I see Google Earth zooming in on my house.
And just telling people to understand that means Google Earth was playing on his desktop.
Yes.
He just pushed in the address, and the screen recorder recorded that. It's not them going. It's embedded in the video they're receiving.
Right in the video.
Yeah.
Well, and think about that instant experience the moment they open the video email and they see the strategically designed Giphy, right?
Yeah.
That's built into the email that has
zooming
the zoom
in on their house.
It's insane.
It's so compelling. Well, and again, if I'm a consumer and that's the first thing I see, you immediately have my attention. Okay, well, what does my agent want to tell me about my house? And then because he did this one a day, he did it for 90 days. The first time he did this, he got $11 million in listings in 90 days. And he didn't have to call people and say, hey, are you thinking about selling? Do you want to meet and talk about your property? He would just say, here you go, here's the data, and then they'd call him.
Totally. And if you think about it from this angle, and we've started talking a lot about this amongst our team, is we are kind of like financial advisors.
Yes.
Real estate advisors. And you meet with your financial advisor quarterly, annually, every year. There's no reason that this can't happen in our business.
Yeah.
But the roadblocks are no time, no nothing, right? So when you're checking in, so I love that 90-day challenge. And it's something even like myself as a team, we've discussed. Another gentleman that does it all the time is Nathan Dart through BombBomb. And this it is the screen record just makes it incredibly convenient.
Yeah.
But also not only for us, but for Mr. and Mrs. Buyer and or seller who could be overseas, who could be anywhere, and they need a quick how-to on a contract. So they're not putting it in the wrong spot, and you got to start it all over again.
And, you know, another thing, too, you layer another little thing that BombBomb has on top of that, which is notifications of opens. You send a CMA out to someone, they open it, they view it. You expect that to happen. 2 months later, that email gets opened up. I mean, in you know, we're talking about Remax and First, and you know, the acquisition of here's who you should be following up on. If an email that has a CMA in it is opened up 2 months later, that is the please give me a call.
They're inviting you to pick up the phone and call them in that moment, because we send things as professionals when it's on our mind, but they may not be ready to have that conversation. But if they're going back to it, you know that they're returning, and they're more than likely ready to have that conversation. Yeah,
and the amazing part about BombBomb is sort of like your motto is to be face-to-face when you can't be face-to-face, but it would be almost inconvenient if I said, hey, Jesse, this week, can you give me 15, 20 minutes of your time that I'm going to come over to your house and sit at the kitchen counter and do all that sort of stuff? It is better that you didn't show up in person, because I just send it to you, and the kids go to bed, you open up a glass of wine.
I can't even get to see my financial advisor in person because of life and everything else. Like, again, we are thinking about the customer client sphere experience and relationship already. Right? Like, that's cool.
Well,
that's cool.
And for your clients, they're being communicated with at a higher level by you than probably most of their other business relationships. That's a win.
Huge win.
Absolutely.
It's a win.
And I think, I mean, the stats are, we've said it 1,000 times, 80% or 82% of people said they'd use their agent again, 17% do. It's it's the factor that you stopped being relevant in between the homes that people buy and sell. If they already know, like, and trust you, they already love you. If you've already been successful in helping them go through a real estate transaction, you've proven your value. By just sending a CMA off and maintaining that relationship's a no-brainer.
And it's a simple way. There are so many different ways to stay relevant in the content creation world, but this is like up our alley already. Real estate market update as your advisor. Now, there's one thing I want to bring up about screen recording that, as one of the video people in the world and whatnot, I just did it the other day, pulling a video that the guy couldn't find the original to download to bring into a keynote. So I screen recorded it on the desktop, went in to the mothership of BombBomb, clicked video, went to download recording, saved to download, pulled it into my editor, edited it straight up, right? So there's so many different ways that you can really use the screen record button.
I did that for a keynote just like 2 weeks ago because I could not actually find this video anywhere where I could download it, and I wanted to show a clip of this video so bad. I was like, well, guess I'm going to screen record it.
There you go.
Figure out the copyright thing later.
Now it's time for the R4 Rapid 4.
All right, it's time for the R4 Rapid 4. Now, before the podcast started, Alicia, you just rolled the dice 4 times. Never asked why you rolled the dice, but here's why.
She's got her Vegas on.
Yeah,
I trust you.
Questions.
Yeah. Well, there's mistake number 1.
We gotcha.
In Jesse's hand, he's holding 10 random, nonsensical, silly questions.
Ooh, I like.
And you'll be asked to provide an answer to one of them. So, Jessie, at first she rolled number 5.
In 40 years, what will people be nostalgic for?
Real experiences that aren't happening in a holodeck.
I remember when I could actually pick this up.
Remember
we
when
live
we-
in the Matrix.
Remember when we used to go dancing in Vegas instead of in our virtual reality rooms in separate states?
Yeah.
You might be. That might be 20 years.
Nostalgic of going outside. Her next roll is number 3.
What is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home?
Oh. The terrifying dolls everywhere. Like the weird ceramic dolls that look like they're about to like rise up from the dead at any moment. Why do people keep those in their house?
Yeah, it's interesting about, you
No
know.
questions asked.
Yeah, but you know what?
Questions.
Clowns, like only a very small percentage actually like them, I feel. And dolls are the same way. I'm like, it's a small subset. I agree with you. Although we just offended 13 people by listening to this podcast.
I'm sorry about your dolls.
Roll number 8.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Oh, honey badger.
Wow.
Oh, without question.
Yeah, just straight to honey
honey
badger.
badger.
Well, I had to censor what I would normally say after honey badger.
Well, when we press,
Thank you for that.
When we press stop record, I'll figure out what that was. That obviously went over my head. And your last roll, Alicia, was number 6.
Ooh. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Only one if it had the right weapon.
You are correct.
Unbelievable answer. I love that answer.
What
Happy
would that
birthday.
weapon be?
Thank you.
It does. Yeah. That's another
What
question.
what weapon could a chicken harness to take down an elephant?
A beak shank.
She's thought about that.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of the 10-4 at R4 podcast with our guest, Alicia Berruti. Thanks
You're
for
always
joining us.
awesome.
Thank you.
My co-host is the adjective number 3, brilliant, Jesse Peters, and I'm Michael Thorne. We'll see you in the next episode. Over and out.
That's this week's episode of the 10-4 at R4 podcast with your hosts Jesse Peters and Michael Thorne. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode. Thank you for watching.